Hey everyone, it's Pete Cohen here. I'm on Talk Sport talking about Wayne Rooney. I'm looking for the speaker on the phone, but I'm going to be talking on Talk Sport about Wayne Rooney.
I have to take that particular can out of the mission until the snake.
Hopefully not the snake.
Sorry, until the snail has decided he wants to leave.
Now let's go back to Wayne Rooney, former captain of England, of course. Pete Cohen is a sports psychologist. He's actually away in the United States at the moment, but he's very kindly offered to come and talk to us and try and get to the bottom of Wayne Rooney's bizarre behaviour. Peter, a very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
No worries, I'm actually in Vegas at the moment, which is the place of so much temptation, where so many people seem to let their habits get the better of them, for sure.
Yes, although there is a phrase, is there not, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, which might be all right for Vegas, but it's not all right for the rest of the country, the world.
No, I know, it's pretty crazy what's just happened, but I suppose, is it really that much of a surprise? I suppose it doesn't obviously excuse it at all, but I suppose all the circumstances around this with... I mean, I know you've been discussing this, but with Wayne Rooney, obviously he's done this sort of thing before. Obviously, England career coming to an end and being out with his friends, his mates, his wife being away. It's just like, we all know these people shouldn't do these sorts of things, but I think history is full of people who, who tend to make stupid mistakes like this. Well, I don't know whether it's a mistake. It's more than a mistake, right?
Yeah, but Pete, I mean, is this what we call the death wish complex? You know what I mean? People often say, this guy got a death wish. I mean, he's got a fortune of over £50 million. He lives in a £6.5 million house. He's the father, very soon, of 4 children. He's had a wonderfully successful football career. Now, nobody is going to say, well, he can't go out occasionally and let his hair down, but why is he so reckless in his personal behaviour? And I'm talking about, his... there's nothing wrong with him having enjoyed the company of a young lady for a few hours.
I think his wife might.
Well, she might. But I mean, it seems perfectly innocent so far, and there's no problem with that. But it's a sort of, let your hair down type behaviour, which is got a bit out of hand. So has he got demons that this man has to conquer with all the benefits that he's made himself in life?
Well, he hasn't done a Luis Suarez and gone out and bitten people. But I mean, the fact is that I think a lot of sports people have to live such a very regimented life, and maybe there's a rebel in him like there is in most people. Like, even we all have a rebel in us. When we were told to tidy our room, no one went, oh yeah, I'll run upstairs and go and do it. We all want to kind of do things in our own way, and we all have to conform. We conform to being a father, we conform to being a professional footballer. And yeah, maybe you're right, there's that kind of self-destruct, like, I don't care, I just want to let my hair down, I want to go a little bit crazy. But obviously, when you're in the public eye like that, you run the risk of seriously letting down a lot of people, and then you regret. I mean, regret is fascinating as a psychologist. When you feel regret, you don't just feel it in your head; you actually feel physical pain, which I'm sure he's going to be feeling now. A lot of remorse, I would imagine. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out.
You asked if he had a sort of death wish complex. Yeah. He also, sometimes people in his position have a sort of God complex, where you think nothing's bad is going to happen. I'm not going to get caught. I can pretty much do anything, and even if I do get caught, I'm Wayne Rooney, and I can just walk away from it. I can tell my wife that I was just talking to this girl. I can tell.
Well, I think
I was just driving her home. You know what I mean?
Mike, I think you come up with a good point there. It's like Tiger Woods. I mean, it seemed like he just thought he could get away with it for so long. Maybe even kind of wanted to be caught. I mean, who knows? I mean, no one is perfect. Everyone is a little bit kind of, I think, a little bit messed up and has got insecurities and imperfections. And, hopefully something good will come out of this, but probably not right now.
Yeah. Now, what you say about letting people down, I think this is a major issue now for Wayne Rooney, because he went back to Everton and he went there as the elder statesman of the squad. And there's a lot of young players. A guy called Calvert-Lewin scored his first goal for the under-23s the other night, you know, and he's a man who looks up to Wayne Rooney in the same dressing room, and there's 12 years difference between them. He's now got to face the man who brought him back to Everton, Ronald Koeman, who, according to reports this morning, you know, did lecture him on the need to be the example setter in that dressing room. That will be a major regret for him. I mean, he's already got major regrets on the domestic side of his life, but professionally now, he'll feel a terrible burden of guilt, won't he?
I would imagine so, because it would appear that he wants that mantle to be a leader, to inspire people to become leaders themselves. And yeah, when you look up to someone and someone does something like that, it can really kind of, you can lose respect for people. You know, they say that you can build a whole lifetime of building a reputation, and then you can literally spoil it. Just like, why would you do such a thing, you know? But who knows? Maybe some people look up and say, well, that's a great thing. Well done. You know, you're a real lad, you know, living life, you know. But really, in the great scheme of things, that's not good.
Yeah, and a lot of the problems that Wayne Rooney seems to have found himself in occur when his wife is away. What do you make of that particular situation?
Well, I think it's that whole thing again of conforming. And I was reading something yesterday about how everybody wants attention. You know, everyone wants it. And it's not just attention just from fans. I think often men want attention from women, and women often want attention from men. And now he's going to have to, you know, he's going to have to pay that price, whatever that price is going to be. But, you know, if you look what happened to some people, like, I don't know, Eric Cantona, for example, he's had... you know, he had a second chance, but maybe Mr. Rooney's already had his second chance. And I mean, what do you think the club is going to do in reaction to this?
Nothing much, apart from fining him 2 weeks' wages, which is quite a considerable sum of money, but he's a very wealthy man.
Surely, I mean, Koeman has been known in the past to take against people. I mean, like he has with Ross Barkley, not playing. Yeah, he might sort of suspend him from play for a while.
Yeah, but I think Mr. Koeman put so much store on the return of Rooney, and it became such a big deal and such a major move. And I know that, you know, Mr. Kenwright, Bill Kenwright, the chairman of Everton, also saw it as a magical fairy tale come true and that sort of stuff. I think there's so much currency, you know, football currency invested in Wayne Rooney. I doubt very much of him.
Well, what would you do? What would both of you do? Just out of, I'm sorry to turn the interview around, but I'm genuinely curious if you were in charge of Everton Football Club, or what would you do?
Well, I'd sell him.
I'd get rid of him.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I would get rid of him.
Well, okay, you might. What I would do is I would say, you now owe me 10 times what you owed me when I brought you back to Everton, so you better get on that pitch every week.
No.
And
I don't want you representing my club.
And pay us back. No, well, I wouldn't say that, because he's not the first footballer to have, have misbehaved by a long chalk, and there is an allowance factor with footballers because they live in such an extraordinary bubble.
Yeah, it's...
I don't think that's true. I mean, Pete, you must work with a lot of people who are in the sporting world and in the public eye.
Yeah.
I don't agree that they should get special dispensation.
It's
I don't see why they should be treated any differently from anybody else. Everybody has pressure. I have pressures. Mike Parry has pressures. You know, the guys working at TalkSport have pressures. The guys working on the tube have pressures. Why should they be treated any different?
I know I suppose it comes down to a lot to do with just money, unfortunately. And but, you know, is there a line? Is there a fine line of saying, okay, look, you have actually just crossed this line, and now you have to go and you have to pay the price of that? But let's say that did happen. Well, what would happen to Wayne Rooney? Well, he'd probably go and play somewhere else because someone else would have him. But I think there is a bigger moral picture here on the picture this places on people, on society, of what is acceptable. But I suppose if someone had a job and they got done for drink driving, well, it depends what the job was, right? As to whether they would...
people who get fired
nowadays. Yeah, it's.
I think a Liverpool player got done recently. Didn't they?
Firmino,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a black and white issue for me. So, Peter, listen, thank you very much indeed for spending time.
It's always a pleasure, gentlemen. Always a pleasure.
You're suggesting that Peter's a gambler.
I'm not suggesting that.
Well, I mean, but that's a very public accusation.
No.
I guess the man has given us his time in the middle of the night.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You take care.
Right. Yeah, enjoy Vegas. Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Interesting, guys. Thank you so much. I can see lots of you have... hang on. Lots of you have joined this morning. It's a really interesting subject. You know, I'm really into behaviour and I've got a crazy behaviour of just being hardwired to getting up the mornings that I get up. That's why it's 3:33 here in Las Vegas, and often I get asked to comment on things like that. I don't know what your thoughts are about Wayne Rooney. I think personally, it's crossed the line. You know, it's just crossed the line. It's just not acceptable. You know, you just. I think even more so when you're in the public eye and people look up to you. It's like, but you know, he should be just kicked out and say, look, that's not acceptable. Sorry. But then what impact would that have? Who knows? Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know how many of you have already seen my live broadcast this morning about September the 8th and us launching the My 365 weight loss challenge. We're all about heroes. We're all about helping you be a superhero in your life. And I'm sure most of you know, if you were slimmer, fitter, healthier, you'd look to yourself more as a hero. You'd be a role model in your own life. You would be someone who would follow yourself. Have an amazing day. Sarah Krantz has joined us again. Sarah is the lady who I wrote 2 books with. Life DIY and Sort Your Wife Out. Sort Your Life Out. Always great to see you. Have a wonderful day. I'm here in Vegas until Tuesday. All the best. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Much love.